Exciting news. We're bringing back our test group, our fat loss test group. So if you're looking to lose 20 plus pounds of unwanted fat and replace it with 10 plus pounds of lean muscle to build your best dream body ever. So once again, you need to have 20 plus pounds to lose with 10 pounds of muscle you want to gain. This is you. We're doing a special test group. We're going to get increased accountability from me and Kyle. We're offering 4 spots for this opportunity. And over the next 90 days, we're going to help you achieve this fully guaranteed and turn you into an absolute beast. So if you're looking to see this and you want amazing results, once again, DM me Fat Loss, my Instagram, at ColossusFit, ColossusFit, and I can't wait for you to be my next success story. Now into the episode. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fit, Healthy, and most of all, Happy podcast. I'm your coach and host, Josh, here with
co-host and co-coach, KG, and I'm in the house.
Today, we're going to be walking you through some of our top habits that super fit people have to stay super fit, to consistently be fit, and not to just be seasonal with it, not to lose, not to have an arc instead of circle. I love that analogy. A lot of people say winter arc, summer arc, and these little blitzes of health where there's a period of time you do it, then you fall off. You want fitness and health to be part of your life. You want it to be a circle. You want it to be something you always fall back to, you're always consistent with, and that's how you really do build a super fit physique and get to that next level. And these tips are going to help really entrench you into this and ensure your results. So what's your first tip, Kyle?
First tip is just making sure you catch yourself if you do happen to slip or fall off and never missing twice. Now, the big thing about this is that the goal here is to be in shape forever. So there will be misses. There will be a time where you go over your calories, you maybe miss a workout. We're all humans and it happens, but the super fit are people that don't let that get them down. They don't end up missing twice. When they say, hey, I've made a mistake, they reflect on it, they move forward, and they just keep going. And this is so important because so many people will just be 1 week on, 1 week off. That's not what the super fit do. They find a way to just get right back on track, and they actually reflect. And this is something that I really wanted to talk about, is that when you do happen to make a mistake, when you slip up, when you fall off, when something happens, you actually sit down and you say, hey, how can I prevent this from happening in the future? And that's why you're able to keep going, because you end up having that lesson learned where next time something happens, there's an event or something where it may be trying to hold you back, you're like, no, I'm good. Like, I'm going to learn from it. And I've learned from my mistake in the past. So first thing is you catch yourself slipping and you never miss twice.
Yeah, and on top of that, for my next tip is that you have no big misses. If you notice that someone's really fit, they're not making an excuse for themselves. They're not saying, oh, I'm taking a week off here, or this weekend I'm not tracking my food. You'll notice they'll be generally falling back to what works, to health, aiming for their protein, aiming for their calories. Not to say that they won't miss, that they won't have positions where they're intentional, but they really limit that all or nothing mentality, and instead it becomes a consistent journey. So examples of this, even for me, I was away in a bachelor, and there's one days we were out celebrating that, and I was like, okay, this one day I'm willing to go over my calories a little bit intentionally. I'm going to be aware of that. I'm still going to try to make good decisions. I still had a great breakfast. I still made sure to get in lots of protein, and I made really great decisions throughout it. And then even the next day, I'm like, I'm going to stick to my guns no matter what. There's like a bunch of donuts in the house, and I decided, I don't need this. I had my fun day yesterday. I'm going to revert back to what works. There wasn't any opportunity for me to eat anything great, so I just waited. And you won't die if you don't immediately eat the second you're hungry. And we're fortunate, especially if you're living in a first world country, that there's so much food available. So I waited out till lunch, had a really healthy lunch, got right back on track, similar to Kyle's never missed twice. But you'll see I didn't let like a fun day need to be this time where I just blew out my calories and didn't train, and I still worked out on that Saturday. Like, I still look for positions where I can win, even with me intentionally being a little bit off the rails for that one day. So the more you can limit these big extremes where you really mess things up, where you do a lot of damage, like, it's so much better. I love that analogy Kyle said, if you drop your phone, you wouldn't keep dropping it. But all too often, people that aren't as fit, they'll say, okay, I'm taking this meal off, I'm having a cheat meal, and then it turns into a cheat day, a cheat weekend, and then 2 weeks later, you're 6 pounds heavier, and you don't know why you can't fall back on track. So avoid these big misses. If you're going to miss, let it be tiny, be accurate to it, still track it, be intentional, be on top of it. And this is an easy way to maintain fitness and to really limit yourself from having these big blowouts.
Yeah, and especially because this fitness journey, the goal is to be successful long term. There will be so many special events, get togethers, parties, celebrations, whatever. And number three here is just making the right decisions during those moments. You'll notice that when the super fit go to dinner, it's not that they don't incorporate fun foods. Flexible dieting is great and you can incorporate it, but for the most part, they make better decisions, right? They're going to be limiting their alcohol. They're going to be limiting empty calories. They may say no to dessert. Like if you want to fit dessert in, that's cool. But for the most part, they make better decisions. And especially like when it comes down to it, there'll always be so many different options and things that like are going on where it's so easy just to deviate and go off the deep end. And it's so important to just like fill your plate up with the right stuff, make the right decision. The super fit, if they have, let's say a buffet and there's a bunch of stuff catered, you'll see them making that conscious decision to get their veggies in, to make the right protein choices, to fill their stuff up with healthy, hearty foods. Once again, of course, incorporating something that they want to here and there, but that's the key word is here and there, small little bits and pieces, not 6 pieces of cake, right? So the super fit make those right decisions when it comes to going out. And this alone makes such a big difference because there's going to be a million different things that will come up and you have to make the right choices long-term to fit it into your lifestyle.
And next up, if you're looking to be super fit, it's having a consistent gym schedule / routine. And that's not saying that you need to always go at the same time, but it's that you have a rough plan of what you're going to do. Because when you have a plan, it's easier to be accountable to it. Hope is not a strategy. If you're like, oh, my week's slammed, I'll go when I have time. I rarely ever think there's this time where I'm lying around and I think I should go to the gym. I have been lifting now almost 15 years and it's still sometimes really hard to get out there. I don't always want to do it, but I do it anyways. And for me, I know I do it the easiest if I knock it out earlier in the day around 9:30. So I always roughly aim to go in there. I'll start getting my days in earlier in the week. If there's days I know I need to rest, I'll start to build my week around it. If I know I'm away for the weekend and I'm not able to lift or be at a gym, I'll do what I need to do and I'll show up there Monday through Friday. So it's really just having a rough schedule, being consistent to it, and also being on an actual regimented routine where you can actually make sure you're utilizing best practices, where you're making sure to utilize daily underlying periodization, progressive overload, that you're pushing your strength forward, that you're readjusting your programming to fit your goals and fit your body as it changes, and to make sure you're training hard enough where you can see progress, but that where you're still recovering and still moving the needle. So the more you can actually lean into this and have schedules and systems behind it, all the better. And the same goes with cardio. Like if you find it's easiest to get out on a morning walk in the morning, try and do that every day. And if you miss it, try to get back to it. But the more you can build these things into your routine and just make them something you don't even need to decide to do. It's just something you do, you get done, you don't think about it. That's how you can really reap those long-term rewards. And that's how you can be someone who's gone to the gym 5, 10, 15 years because you just make it a non-negotiable in your day.
Yeah, and the super fit, they'll ask themselves, how can I make this work? How can I fit it in? Instead, a lot of people will just be like, oh, I can't fit it in. I'm away for the weekend. It's all good. I'll get back to it next week. The super fit are like, hey, how can I bring my dumbbells to the cottage? Could I get a workout in before I head out, before a long drive? Could I tell someone else that I'm meeting up with that I need to meet up with them later because I'm going to hit the gym? The super fit are looking for these reasons to succeed and not the excuses that a lot of people will make down the road. And next up, having accountability and coaching. Every super fit person has it. I know a lot of people will be sitting here thinking, no way, like they don't need it. They just think that it's for people who are struggling. But the truth is that's how they get to the next level. They have accountability. They have people checking in on them. They have a program actually customized to them with some amazing goal set. And that's why they're super fit. It's because they're at the peak, because they have the help and support. And if you actually think of the top performers in the world, let's just say NBA, every single one of the top basketball players, they have multiple levels of accountability. And some people would think, well, they don't need it. They're the best, like they're good. But that's how they got there. That's what's going to make such a big difference. So I see so many people with their ego, they just say, well, I don't need it. I'm totally good. And that's why they're struggling. That's why they're not able to stay on track. So the top performers, the people who are super fit at the next level, they have accountability, they have people around them that supports them, and they have the right coaching to help them stick to it and make the right decisions, especially because when you're doing it by yourself, you're so emotionally attached and you end up making the wrong decisions. We're here for you every step of the way, no matter what level you're looking to get at. But obviously, if you have 20 pounds of fat to lose, 10 pounds of muscle to gain, message us fat loss. I guarantee you results, and I can't wait to help you on your journey.
Yeah, I think a lot of people get confused that There'll be a position where they made it, they can take their foot off the gas, everything comes easy. But they say every level there's another devil. And as you grow and you achieve goals, you're going to set bigger, scarier goals. And when you get a taste of being elite, of being super fit, you're going to want to lean into that much more. And you're going to have to get that much more creative to break through these plateaus. When you first start, results come easy. You can see massive leaps. But as you want to become more and more elite, you need to get more and more tactical, more and more consistent. And you need to continue to find different ways to evolve. The great news is even with like less effort, of course, you could maintain a decent level of health and muscularity. But I assure you, and if you're listening to this podcast, you're someone who wants amazing results. So having accountability, having a coach behind your side is everything. And even for my clients, they're like, during the week, just knowing you're looking at my spreadsheet, knowing I have to check in with you on Friday, like that motivates me to actually see my cardio through. And then if they slack on it, I'll point it out. I'll say, hey, I've noticed cardio hasn't been done or protein was low. And naturally that'll cause some ability to start correcting that. I also use a spreadsheet outside of my actual just MyFitnessPal tracking. And the reason I do this is I'm aware of my calories. I can look at my week as a whole. I can look at my trends. I can notice if I'm like, oh shoot, I missed my protein 2 days in a row. This needs to be a priority. So what gets tracked gets managed. Whereas if you're completely blind to it, you won't even know where you're falling short or where you can improve. And this is you really just handicapping yourself, because this knowledge is a big bonus. And I think another thing you can utilize is fitness accessories or just tools. So there could be a myriad of different things here. So obviously scale is a tool I use. I weigh in every single day. And why do I do that? I try to detach myself from my weight. It's a position of data. And by me doing it every day, I can look at an average and I can see if I'm trending where I want or not, depending on whether I'm cutting, maintaining, or bulking. It's also a self-checking mechanism. Maybe you've had a couple of days where you've eaten a little bit extra. You see that weight starting to click up. That's where you'll start to correct yourself. And if you don't do this, that's where you get these positions where you haven't checked your weight in 6 months. You randomly check it one day and you realize you're not actually 180 or 200, and you go into panic mode and you're like, how the heck did this 20 pounds go on? So you can use these tools to be in your favor. You can use an Apple Watch, a Fitbit to try to regulate your level of activity and move towards like 10,000 steps, whatever it is. You can go even outside of that and get other positions of accountability and tools like meal prep services. There's so many different things you can utilize to help you in the background of your journey to give you more support and to actually see things through. Because the more you have support, the more you have accountability, the more you can gamify your journey, the more fun it can be. And that's where something like Steps or MyFitnessPal Streak can be so effective, because it can just make it something where you actually feel reward and excitement towards what you do, and that will ultimately lead to more results.
And these things really hold you accountable. Even me, like walking, I try to walk every day, but even I find myself every night around 7 p.m. checking the Apple Watch and seeing, hey, how many steps have I done? Sometimes I'll be like, oh man, I need to get out there and go for a walk. But these things help you stay accountable. Like, these are all habits that help you make the right decisions and stay on track. And a lot of times when people think of fit people, they just think of people with great genetics or someone that's like just incredibly blessed or whatever. It's like, these people are fit for a reason. They've created these habits, they've created these systems, and that's why they're able to succeed for the rest of their life. And the last thing, and this is one of the most important things, is just the most fit people have tangible, solid goals set. So if you were to just talk to them and say, hey, what are you striving for? They'll usually have a pretty specific answer. It doesn't have to be anything crazy like a marathon or a powerlifting meet or anything like that, but you'll know that they have something that is pushing them, something that's getting them out of bed, out of the house, forcing them to consistently show up. Whereas if you were to ask someone who's maybe newer or just like not as fit, some people will just be like, I know I have to be here, so I'm here, or just like not really know what they're actually working towards. And it makes a big difference. Like, the people who consistently show up, who are making the right decisions every single day, it's because they have bigger goals set that holds them accountable, and they care more about their goals than they do their short-term pleasures. So really think about that. If you're looking to get to the next level, you have to be very dialed in on your goals. You have to think about it consistently, and that's what's going to force you to stay on track during those tougher times. So if you're looking to get to the next level, we guarantee results. Once again, message us Fat Loss. I promise you, this will be the greatest thing you ever do for yourself on your fitness journey. But getting to the next level really isn't that complicated. Having the right systems in place, the right accountability, the right game plan, and obviously the right mindset will make such a big difference. We truly believe every single one of you can get there if you show up for yourself consistently. And I just want to say thank you for spending time with us today. We'll see you in the next episode. Peace out.